Could we have solved two mysteries? Does the D stand for Davy in the D? Or is One Piece film Red canon? Did Goldie Roger actually find Shanks in a treasure chest? This video is going to make you think about it. Where we last left off at the end of One Piece, the world government had chosen God Valley because that was the last location of the Davy clan, the D clan, the descendants of Davy D. Jones. And I was like, well, Davy still has a D in his name, so I don't know if that still stands for D or if Davy's D stands for something else. We don't really know, because it would be weird to be called Davy Jones, Davy D. Jones, you know what I mean? Anyways. That's why the world government chose God Valley. It wasn't just for Shanks and Shamrock. He chose it specifically because that's where they're going to wipe out everybody in the Davy clan. And among those people are Blackbeard's mother, Eris. We learn her name later. And Teach, he's just born. He's like 2 years old. They're standing among the stage of people being booed and harassed and throwing weapons at. And you can see Blackbeard's face. Blackbeard, as a baby, is just shocked. He's like, what is going on? A baby's confused. These people want to kill him. These people want to see him dead. And mind you, we know Kuma's among them. Ivankov's among the slaves. And Ivankov's partner, right-hand man or woman, whatever. So we know, they have a reason. Blackbeard especially kind of has a reason to want to kill the world government. Has a reason to want to, just see the world destroyed. People want to kill him for just existing. Again, some things going on in real life, but we ain't gonna compare real life to manga. But there are some parallels there. People just being born are being killed for no reason. Also, I corrected myself. It's officially corrected that Dragon was not saving Teach, or he didn't find Teach. He found Shamrocks and Shanks, and he saved them from their mother who was dying. So that is officially corrected. She was begging them to save them from St. Garling, and Dragon took them. Dragon felt like saving these babies would redeem himself. He's like, I'm a part of the military, I'm a part of the world government, I'm here on God Valley. Again, Gorp is here. Gorp knows what the world government is doing. Gorp knows about the manhunt and all that, which is crazy, but we're gonna talk about that because Gorp is different. But Dragon feels ashamed. He's like, I hate that I'm here. I hate that I'm a part of this. Maybe saving these babies can help me redeem myself. So Dragon took him about a second thought, and the disgusting manhunt had already begun. The world government's already beginning their turn. They're like, hey, run! If you survive for 3 weeks, you get to live. It's disgusting. We can also see that Saint Summers and Gunko were among the manhunt, which makes me hate them even more. The Holy Knights, they know. I mean, of course, the Holy Knights know what the world government is doing, but the fact that they participated in this manhunt, the fact that, you guys are... I don't know. It really makes these villains even more despicable, especially what you see Saint Summers do later. I mean, Saint Summers already tried to kill children. We've seen that, but what he does later, a crime against all of humanity of all time. Okay, so one other thing I thought was Dragon, as he's debating whether to save people or shoot them, he's like, if I don't follow what my leaders are saying, they're gonna kill my entire platoon. If I don't, kill these people, all of my people on my team are dead. That's the way the world government's trying to twist their minds to make them obey. They're like, hey, we know this manhunt's fucked up, but if you don't kill these people, you don't tranquilize them, you don't put them to sleep so they can play a part of our game, then your whole entire team dies. It's you get to live with that over your head. Just disgusting behavior. And then while this manhunt is happening, pirates began pulling him to the shore. The first to make it were the Rocks pirates, Rocks setting his sights on saving Shaky. Well, all of it, Rocks' crew is here to save Shaky. That's Rocks' whole thing. But Rocks is also here to save his wife and child specifically. And also specifically, Kaido specifically wanted a devil fruit. Big Mom's like, hey, Kaido, while we're here, they got some prizes. They got some treasure here. Maybe you can get your hands on devil fruit. So this could be where Kaido gets his devil fruit. He's on God Valley. The Roger Pirates followed shortly after them, hoping to save Shaky as well. And at this point, the Celestial Dragons, the Holy Knights, and St. Garling were they were thinking about stopping their sick game and focus on the pirates. Like St. Garland's like, hey, Roger's here, we got Rocks here. This is a dangerous situation. We cannot continue this manhunt. Celestial Dragons, we're gonna get you out of here. And you'll see later the Celestial Dragons like, fuck that. We're here to play our game. Your job is to protect us. Let us play our sick little game, and you stop them fucking pirates from intervening. And then we finally get to see all the Holy Knights together. There are definitely 2 new characters I'm not familiar with. I'm not sure who these 2 other Holy Knights are, but Gunko's among them. I think St. Killingham, St. Summers is among them. Shamrock's is currently a baby, and so he's not among them. But we got to see all of the Holy Knights, including St. Garland. And the way the chapter ends is with the arrival of the Marine Admiral Gorp. Now, one thing we know is that on God Valley, something that Gorp and Roger did in the news made it sound like they teamed up to take down Rocks. But again, we have King Harold still coming. We have, however, Rocks actually dies, because the world government always twists what actually happens. And we know that Gorp and Goldie Roger are not friends. So we're not sure exactly what happens here. And all the Rocks pirates are Kaido, Big Mom, and Shiki, the Golden Lion, and his crew. They're all here. They're all here to witness it, and Whitebeard. So they all know the truth. Anyways, now that the battle is about to begin, I was like, shit is about to get crazy. Now here's where the Celestial Dragons continue to refuse to leave, and they're talking about, despite all this chaos, they're like, hey, we're here for our prize. And I believe the prize they're still talking about is Shaky, but again, among them we know that there's devil fruits and things like that, and treasure and all that stuff. Because we know devil fruits on this island. We believe this is where Kaido gets his devil fruit. But also Shaky is the prize, the woman worthy of any man's love, or not worthy of any man's love. And this is also where you learn that Blackbeard's mother and his wife, and Blackbeard's mother and Rock's wife's name is Ares. We don't get to see her face just yet, but we know that she was on that stage standing next to Blackbeard. Meanwhile, Dragon is just trying to escape with Shanks and Shamrocks when he gets attacked by a Holy Knight. Like, he at first thinks it's a pirate because he's never met the Holy Knights before. The Holy Knights serve the Gorosei, the 5 elders. They're not seen among everyday people. And the Holy Knights, I don't care if you're a part of the Marines or not. If you seem like you're escaping, if you seem like you're not following orders, you get killed too. And this Holy Knight, he looks like St. Killingham, but it's not exactly him. I don't know who this guy is. It's one of the new ones. But Dragon only dropped Shamrocks when he got attacked. Shanks is still in Dragon's arms. Shamrocks fell on the ground, and St. Garland, or the Holy Knight's like, oh, this is one of St. Garland's kids. Okay, I'm glad I stopped you. I can't let St. Garland know that one of his kids almost got hurt. Also, Shanks is seen with a bump on his head. I'm not sure if that's going to play any part in the story with Shanks having a bump on his head, but it made me think back to One Piece Film Red, it being canon. Dragon obviously can't take Shanks out of God Valley without being seen, so he would have to hide him somewhere. And in One Piece Film Red, Shanks opened a chest and he found Yuta. Goldie Roger in the same flashback is seen opening a chest and is assumed to be Shanks, because Shanks was having that flashback. This could make Film Red canon, at least that part of it. Hilariously, he and Shanks are saved by Whitebeard, and Dragon specifically are saved by Whitebeard and Big Mom, who were just making their way to the battlefield, completely ignoring what was going on. They just saw a Holy Knight in the way, and they're just like, hey, Big Mom, yeah, what do you think about this battle? What do you think it's on this island? They didn't even care if the Holy Knight said. They cut the Holy Knight in half. I mean, obviously he didn't die because, he is immortal. But, they took him out pretty easily without even trying. And they saved Dragon without even thinking about it. They weren't even worried about Dragon being a Marine. They just walked right past him. And Dragon's like, holy shit, where are these giants coming from? And then Kaido joins the group. And it's almost like a One Piece version of the Big Three. These are the 3 emperors of the sea. The 4th emperor being, in Dragon's arms. But this is the 3 of them together. And they're about to wreak chaos. And it just looks so crazy. Now, something as hilarious is about to happen, almost immediately after this. The 3 of them were still afraid to fight Gorp. Even though they're all together, we know how strong Kaido is. We know how strong Big Mom is. We know how strong Whitebeard is. All 3 of them were running away from Gorp when Gorp showed up. He's like, hey, you 3 rookies, where you going? And they're taking off running. Kaido's like, hey, should we fight that guy? And Whitebeard and Big Mom are like, he is way too much trouble. I just love that because we know Gorp is strong, but that means Gorp has to be insane levels of strong if the fucking 3 emperors of the sea or future emperors of the sea are scared to death of him and running away like cowards. We do also know, because also back then, that Goldie Roger never had a devil fruit. So the fact that Gorp could take on Roger, and Roger defeated Rox or fought Rox, and he defeated Big Mom, and he defeated Kaido, and he defeated Whitebeard, and became the king of pirates, and he never had a devil fruit ever, we know that, well, of course, Gorp should be on that level if he took on Roger. Also, Big Mom apparently already had her devil fruit because she controls Zeus, and she controls Prometheus. And she tries to do like this combination attack on Gorp. And again, the way it shows the panel, it looks like a Big Mom obliterated like most of the island with this blast. But then you just see Gorp like, oh, this ain't even hot enough to cook a steak with. And he's like eyes like devilish and shit like that. It is hilarious. Okay, I was like, holy shit, Gorp looked like a fucking devil here. This battle also allowed Kuma, Ivankov, and his subordinate to escape in the chaos, because we know that they were slaves in the Battle of God Valley, and they were being targeted and hunted down because Kuma has Buccaneer blood. We still don't know what that means, and Ivankov and, you know, his subordinate were just among them. And so we never saw them escape. We just know that a battle happened on God Valley, and it one day led to Gorp being made the hero of the Marines, and Goldie Roger, you know, they're somehow team up, and the Rocks died on that island. And obviously Teach escaped because Teach was alive. We never seen Big Mom's. We never seen Teach's mother, so we don't know if Teach's mother died. We know Shanks and Shamrock's mother died on that island, killed by St. Garling. So we don't know. But that's where we're at that point. And then it is confirmed that Holy Knight got his hands on Shamrocks while Dragon had Shanks. This is where, like, again, I think I already talked about this earlier, but like the Holy Knight is confirmed to have got Shamrocks back. That's why Shamrocks became a Holy Knight, and again, Shanks didn't. So again, I think One Piece Film Red is going to be canon here. I also love that even though Shanky is in handcuffs, she was kicking out these Navy soldiers' ass, like they had her in handcuffs behind her. And we know both Hancock has strong abilities too, but we don't know if Shaky specifically has a devil fruit. We don't know that. However, she kicked a Holy Knight, Saint Summers, and did enough damage to him. So I'm not saying Shaky has to conquer his hockey, but she has to have something to have damaged a Holy Knight. And then he does the most difficult thing ever. Saint Summers slaps a woman. I was like, if Red Leg Zeph was here, I don't care if Red Leg Zeph, it would have been, if Red Leg Zeph had done a dynamic entry, just like randomly showed up in this battle, I would have been okay with it. I would have fucked with it. I would have applauded it. I mean, this was, again, 60-something years ago or something like that. Well, old Goldie Roger was an old man in the future, and present day, and Zeph's an old man. So I wouldn't mind if Red Leg Zeph just randomly showed up and Goldie just randomly threw Zeph in here somehow, because we know the one thing you cannot do since the rules of the day of the dinosaurs is a man never puts his hand on a woman. But we know Saint Summers don't care about that, because Saint Summers slaps, he hurts children and kills parents trying to get their hands on the child with the thorns that are invisible to both of them. And then and then he has nothing against women because he tried to kill Nico Robin, but again, just slapping a woman, like not even fighting her, just slapping her. Just again, these Holy Knights are fucking despicable. They're just as bad as Celestial Dragons, if not worse. Anyways, also the best part, and because Oda is amazing, we get a full circle moment. Despite all the pirates are here to save Shaky, pretty much the Rocks pirates and the Roger pirates, Goldie Roger and his crew are here to save Shaky as well. The whole motivation here is to save Shaky, and then Rocks is here additionally to save Shaky, but additionally to save his child and his wife, or Ares, his girlfriend. I'm gonna say wife. But the one that saves Shaky, the one who she left a note for, the one who is with her in present day on Sabi Adi Archipelago, it's Rayleigh. Rayleigh is the one that takes down Saint Summers and saves Shaky, and is there to hold his hand out to her. I found that it's a very cute full circle moment. I really love that. Now, the way this chapter ends, after Roger has confirmed that Shaky's been saved, he's like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's bounce. We achieved our mission. Let's steal some rich treasure and let's go. Now, obviously, we know some other crazy shit still has to happen, because Rox has to die in this arc. And Kaido has to get his hands on the devil fruit. And we still have to see where Dragon puts Shanks in a treasure chest. And we still have to see how Gorp became the hero of the Marines, and what the supposed team up between Gorp and Goldie Roger was, and where King Harold plays in all this, because we know King Harold's going there, because King Harold was told, if you kill Rocks, we'll let you be a part of the world government. So I think King Harold is going to have some kind of play in how and how Rox dies. And you still got to see how Teach and his mother escaped, or maybe just how Teach escaped, or maybe Whitebeard saved Teach, because we know Teach is a part of Whitebeard's crew. Maybe this is where after Rox died, the three emperors of the sea, Kaido, Whitebeard, and Big Mom went their separate ways, and Whitebeard was like, hey, I was loyal to Rox. You're his kid. I'm going to get you out of here. Maybe Rox tells Whitebeard to get him out of here. There are so many ways, so many theories, so many things that can happen that can make this full circle and wrap up a lot of mysteries in One Piece. Now, since I've already set on my speculation and we've finished talking about the chapter, all I'm going to do is wait for next Sunday. Anyways, guys, that's all for this video. Let me know what you think about the comments below about my theory that Shanks is going to be in that treasure chest making One Piece film Red Cannon, and that's how Goldie Roger finds him, like Dragon put him on Goldie Roger's ship. Let me know what you think about my theory that Whitebeard is going to be saved by Teach, or Teach is going to be saved by Whitebeard because Rox tells him to, or maybe just Whitebeard knows that Teach had a son and he decides to save him. Let me know what you think about my theory that King Harold is going to be the one that somehow actually kills Rox, because he was told, you kill Rox, you get to become part of the world government. And maybe Warp and Goldie Roger try to stop him. Who knows? There are so many things that can happen. But again, we're seeing this full circle in the whole story, and I can't wait to see it. Anyways, that's all for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey guys, this video was sponsored by me, the author of the Shinry series, the Chronicles of Wayne, and Monsterverse. So I figured I'd do this outro a little bit different by showing you guys what you guys will be checking out. So, the Shinry series starts with Book 1, Shobu Samurai Project Aryoku. 10 years after the death of his parents, Shobu Samurai returns home seeking vengeance, but instead faces the choice to save his home from shadow creatures, blood beasts, and an organization once thought dead. Shinry's Shobu Samurai starts at $9.99. And if you love anime, manga, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach, Yu Yu Hakusho, Fairy Tail, Shaman King, Rave Master, Zatch Bell, anything like that, the Shinry series is definitely the series for you. You'll definitely want to check it out. The Sword of Light is probably the thickest one so far. And then these books are two. This is Enter the Dread Zone Tournament, and the series original ending, Arado, the Legendary Conjuring Master. So, and I'll just show you guys some of the covers. Really proud of all of these. But I hope you guys check it out. If you don't like that, I also have the current published books for the Chronicles of Wayne, Love Be Damned, Cotton Candy, Full Moons, Fabled Lovers, A Cursed Virgin's Bite. If You Go Where Monsters Dance, Red Will Rain Over Your House. Love Be Damned. Now, the Chronicles of Wayne is about a geeky guy, or a nerdy guy in high school. His senior year, he has a crush on the hottest guy in school, because of course he does. He's only got one best friend, and her name is Barb. Well, the hottest guy in school turns out to be a werewolf. And to make the story more interesting, he bites Wayne and turns Wayne into the first ever wolfman in the last 10 years. And because of that, it was also a sacred law that wolfmen should never be created. I don't want to get into too much of the Chronicles of Wayne without spoiling it, but I can tell you it's very short. This one sells for $6.99, and Love Be Caged right after it. The ending of this trilogy, Love Be Liberated, comes out in October. So I'm going to definitely do a more full in-depth review of this one. But yeah, it's an LGBT fantasy fiction story about werewolves, vampires, white witches, a dark warlock, and, well, many, many more surprises to come. So if you guys like to read, I definitely recommend. These are all the books so far in the Shinry series, except for Shinry's Beginning. I do have that one, but it's just not here with me. But yeah, I appreciate a like, support, or just a review on Amazon. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day.